Thank you for sharing your evening with me. I am JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of AfroEconomics, a strategic financial management program designed for the advancement of Black wealth in America and abroad. And tonight's discussion is about economic inequality. And more research is just, brought out, it seems like every day, bringing to our attention the challenge of economic inequality. But there's no power, as I say, there's no power in just knowing something and then not doing anything about it. So I'm going to continue to just bring the information and bring solutions and bring ideas and bring programs forward for us to take advantage of on things that I think will get rid of the economic inequality that we've had to live with. And we don't want the next generation to have to go through the same things that we're going through. But I want to show you, some research that's been done, that how we have to make a commitment on making things different, because there's a lot of things that are staying the same. So here is a study. I'm going to share the screen with you because I want us to do more of, I want to make sure that I don't just talk, that I show you where I'm bringing this information from. I'm learning every day, and I know that there are too many times we're given information and never is the basis of the information given. And I remember, as Father's Day approaches us, and I was just saying, I'm going to be pulling in some of the fathers from AfroEconomics and some of you who are not fathers, but have a father that you admire. And I want you to get involved. But as we approach Father's Day, I remember there was research that came out, and it reflects, and I did a big podcast on it last year, reflects how the positive movement and the positive parenting within Black men. And I remember after I posted it, some of the negative comments that I got from other communities that did not want to hear the research. But I put in the Father's Day discussion, and I think I'm going to make sure that I do that again. The facts that the research had been done, and it was not research just on Black men, it was research on fatherhood. And it shows that contrary to information that had been released by the White House at that time, and it wasn't our current president, that actually was saying that Black men were not available. Well, the research was not interpreted correctly, and he had unfortunately interpreted the research incorrectly, and the research actually showed that the Black men were available and wanted to, and actually it showed the desire, sincere desire, more than any other demographic, to want to be with their kids and spending quality time with their children. So after that, even more was I convinced that if a president of the United States could get information wrong, then it was important for me to make sure that I show the source of my information, so that if the information is wrong, then it can be studied by someone else and they can pull it out. That's what intelligent people we're supposed to do, not just make statements. So when I say that there's economic inequality, it's because the research shows that over centuries, there's been economic inequality in the U.S. And this is not specifically just about the Black community. This is general information. And I've shown you, we know, unfortunately, that that our road to zero wealth, an additional research study, you can look that up. Again, that shows the economic inequality specifically to us. And this Pew research that came out in January of this year, look at this, January 9th on your screen, 2020, Trends in Income and Wealth Inequality. And it's just showing from 1970, and I should use my mouse, 1970 to 2018, that the economic inequality is just increasing. You know, household incomes have resumed growing following the Great Recession, but U.S. households adjusted for household size and scale to reflect a three-person household in 2018 dollars. So this is just reflecting U.S. household income from 1970 to 2018. Now we go down. Like, what if I just left it at that, right? Go down in their research. That is just showing the growth in income, which really isn't as dramatic as what you would have thought, right? But but income overall has gone up, but not as much for every different economic group. So upper income households have seen more rapid growth in income in recent decades. So upper income, the gaps in income between upper income, middle income, and lower income households, it's rising. So it's saying that the gaps in income, so the middle income used to represent 42% of aggregate, that means all income, but that 62% is down to 43%. And now upper income, what's considered income, is making up a larger percentage of the total amount of income being made. And the look at the differences in income from 2000 to 2018, the lower income growth is very modest. Lower income, growth really hasn't been that dramatic for any group, but it's the smallest for lower income households. The growth was only up $500, 5,000, and you'll see approximately another 5,000, no, even more than that. That's over 10,000 in growth, almost 15,000 in growth for the upper incomes versus 5,000 versus 500. So so this is just to let you know that when I say economic inequality, yes, there is economic inequality, and it is getting larger and larger. Economic inequality is becoming more of an issue. I want to go back to, I believe, this is my thesis statement of this discussion. I believe that we can stop the growth of economic inequality by our community focusing more on technology. Because especially now, as you see with this COVID crisis, that jobs that are involved more with technology, those jobs continued and were able to continue to make money. Even a business, they were able to make money continuously through this crisis. So I want to just continue to build on my argument that we should use technology to increase our income and bring us into different fields that will give us more opportunities for entrepreneurship as well. Mr. Robinson says, given the structural, or you could even call it institutional, but he says structural racism at the highest levels of the government, I don't see how anyone could argue against this article. Exactly. There's a lot. And even as we've seen in our previous discussions about public policy that has discriminated against the Black community, that's challenging and something that still needs to be addressed on how the government of this country is going to make sure that it addresses what it has done wrong. So then I'm going to go back to technology and how we're going to use it. So we saw there that Pew That Pew Research Company says we have economic inequality and it's growing. And we have the more people make, the larger percentage of people high income are making up more of the aggregate, more of the total income for the country is coming from the larger the larger minority. Actually, it's a smaller group of people that are dominating a bigger percentage of the total incomes that are made. So then let's think about why I feel like technology is a possible solution when some people think that technology, because of technology taking jobs, that has caused more economic inequality because technology has taken those jobs. And I feel that that is a valid point. But what we can do is try to encourage and support one another to take advantage of the technical revolution. Let's get involved in it because they're going to continue to move that way. So we have to make sure that we're moving that way. So what can we do? I feel that we, as the thought leaders, especially of our own household, we have to make sure that we are embracing technology versus saying that everything about technology is bad. That we'll get away from the phone, or we don't need those computers, or we don't need these things. I don't need that, or I don't do transactions on the computer, and I'm not going. We have, unfortunately, I could say that too many of us have assumed I am afraid of those things type attitude instead of figuring out all of the security systems and things that we could be doing to protect ourselves and to do more and utilize the technology that is here to stay. So I realize that just because we have technology, it's not enough to solve this problem of bridging us with technology and how it exists in our society. But we have to focus on how many benefits digital technology has to help, especially even the disadvantaged parts of our community and the advantage. So we need to, as thought leaders, as leaders, and all of you, and a lot of you have your own podcasts and shows that you're doing, that we need to address when we have opportunities like this, that we have to address the need to bring technology into our life, and for us to make sure that we are not just seen as users, but see how important it is for these technical and digital companies to get us involved on their boards, to get us involved as employees, to get us involved as businesses. And over, I'm going to share another article with you that I'm seeing that we are trying to move into that area, into having our own technology businesses, but our businesses are not given the opportunities to get the money from the investors. So even though we have the companies, now I'm not going to use that, we have our own companies that are trying to get involved. I'm going to show you this one. The cause, and this is a brother, and they did a nice article on him. Here he is. Great. Show you this. Has his own business, and he's talking about that divide that we're dealing with. And I think the article brings out some good research too. There we go. Now this one was written by Northwestern EDU, northwestern.edu. The margins, tech was supposed to be the great equalizer. And then I believe that it still has hope. So this brother is talking about his business. And then I'm going to come back to you, Twyla. Thank you for your comment. It says about huge problem on the surface. Venture capitalists are very much less likely to invest in businesses and startups run by Black women Black men and women, especially in the tech industry. That's sad. That is sad, because I know that a technology company it requires a lot less capital than most other companies that we are more likely to start. Like a lot of the industries that we like, you have the challenge of needing a lot more capital to start them up. My company is a technology company. So I really didn't need any inventory to start it. I just needed my technical equipment. If you think about it, you just don't think about investment advice as technical, but it is very technical. So look at this rate of new entrepreneurs in the economy, and then all of this will come together as I do. So this right here is by age, and the young people are on the bottom. The top age group for new entrepreneurs is this light blue, those 55 to 64. Let's look at new entrepreneurs by race. This is sad, y'all. Here we are on the bottom, on the bottom, on the top, Latino on the top. That's good. And then whites right up there, right up there, consistent. And then the Asians beginning to outpace the white entrepreneur. But our numbers are basically almost going down. And then the entrepreneur by education. The entrepreneur, wow, less than a high school. Wow. And that's probably a lot of the Latino community before, getting a high school diploma, starting their businesses and making money. Sometimes probably because they don't have that option, and everyone else pretty much, and let's look at where are you from? Where are most of the new entrepreneurs coming from? And this says most of the new entrepreneurs are immigrants. And the growth in entrepreneurship and people born in the US is basically flat. That's interesting. So I also thought, this article had an interesting bit. I thought this one, I thought it had a different study down there, but I looked at so much, y'all, for this thing. Like, you know how you look at this is it. And so I thought it was on the bottom. But look, show African American CEOs. There are still only 3 African American CEOs in Fortune 500. Show African American tech CEOs. 0 over technology companies. Even though you've got companies, like that Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, all of these like companies that really, really are getting a lot of business from the Black community. Or you're not even talking about entrepreneurship, but if we're not getting in, because most of your entrepreneurs are going to come from, they were in corporate America a lot of times. Like me, I was in corporate America and I said, hey, I think I could do this on my own. But if we're not getting in, then how do we continue to get new technology people to come into the arena, right? And then show Fortune 100 CEOs. And then show African American CEOs. 3. They had to go out to 500 so that we could get our 3. But this is show Fortune 100. And I guess that's like the top 100. But that's a brother right there. That's that same brother right there. I don't know who that is. Anybody know who that is? But he is one of the CEOs for one of the Fortune 100. I wish they would like to. They're next to each other. But the one is not. So it's not tech companies, but they're CEOs of some company. Isn't that something? But we are definitely seeing that reason why the economic inequality is still existing, because of what I'm saying that can close that gap is technology, but we're not in technology. Then my solution, it can't be done. So we have to start moving ourselves, our children, our mindset more into technology, and looking at least trying to get, and I know it's not easy, trying to get our children to consider careers in technology. Because every time when I hear, us talk, that I don't hear us talking about our, people going into, I want to be a software developer. I want to be an IT manager. I want to be a web developer. I've heard that one though. I think someone on here, their son is a web developer, a database administrator. Like, these are supposed to be like the top tech jobs. But out of these type of jobs, we can start, you can move towards technology businesses. But we have to think, or you can start, have you ever wanted to start a business as a software developer? You don't have to do it. You can be the manager of it, and then you can get the software developers involved. But we have to start thinking about, even if you're a business owner out there, are you maximizing your use of technology in order to increase the profits of your business? And are we maximizing the use of technology in order to save ourselves money? Like, when I tell you you can do your own taxes, a lot of you cringe, but it's only because of technology that I feel so confident that you have the ability to do your own taxes. And by doing that and taking those steps, that is the beginning towards that. And then, why do you think that I did last week? I did the stress test. I'm starting to talk to you more, and I did a session about artificial intelligence and your investment portfolio and AfroEconomics algorithm. I'm putting these words out there because I want us to be technical pioneers in what's coming next. I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of the innovation that we have moving forward. I want us to start. Yeah, the cloud and visualization is the biggest thing in tech. Yes. Oh, y'all feel it. I'm okay. Well, Andrew, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I don't know if you ready. Do you want to come on camera? You can come on camera. That is like a huge paragraph that you have there. The was rejoining the webinars panelists. I'm sorry, Miss Perkins. I hit the wrong one. Oops. Oh, I'm gonna move you back. I know she's like, what in the world? You done, they'll put you up there as a panelist. See, that's what I get. But I want, if you want to talk, like, I really should have, because you don't want, I just don't want to do you an injustice of saying this. So I know that Dr. Williams has things to say. Twyla has something to say. I'm going to come one more time, and I'm not sure because your camera or something might not work, but I'm trying to get you on, Mr. Bozeman. And you said that as we view, let me see if I can at least, I unmuted you. What did you say, Mr. Bozeman?
I said.
So as we, I can't hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Well, you're still with me, Mr. Bozeman. I didn't put you back down yet, but you just can't see him anymore. So as you view, this is what Mr. Bozeman says, as you view the data that confirms that we are what we already know, let's break through the situation hypnosis that is holding us back. JB is showing us the pathways that we can aggressively pursue, but our minds must accept that we are powerful and deserve the benefits available. Our minds have been our prisons, but we can turn them into our weapons. Our powerful beliefs can magnetize opportunities and break through. Indeed. I thank you, Mr. Bozeman. I can see you. I see you. Our minds have been our prisons. How about that? Can I hear you?
Hello, can you hear me?
I know. I wish I could
No?
with that. I can't hear you. Can you all hear him? Can you hear me? Sometimes they can hear and I can't hear. And then so definitely let me know. Oh, you know what? Your microphone is on mute. And I'm gonna unmute you. I'm gonna try to unmute you. You muted it because it won't let me unmute it. There
Okay.
we go. Say something now.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Oh, if I could just hear your voice, it would make my day. It really would. It's so good to see you. You look great.
Thank you.
But it won't. Try your volume button.
Ah, okay.
And I'm just keep. I'll know as soon as it comes up.
Can you hear me now?
It's on there. And let me try. See if there's something. I'm gonna look at that. Mute audio, and then you know what it was when I turned down Betty White.
Oh.
Remember that? That's it. So y'all, they probably can hear you, and I couldn't. I can hear you now. I can hear you now, Mr. Bozeman. And you said that our minds have been our prisons, but we can turn them into our weapons, our powerful beliefs. Yes. Tell me.
Well, what we've been brainwashed for so long that it's become a status quo to believe that we are inferior, and it's even when we believe that we're not inferior, we get in situations where that comes up automatically. It's something that we've got to learn how to overcome, because it's always there. It's hiding in the shadow.
And do you see that? I mean, I really truly believe that technology, that us moving, especially as entrepreneurs, more towards technology things, because of the reduction in the amount of capital that it requires, that our businesses will be more successful. You know, because I feel that. So out of this, I am creating, starting in September, a once a month for AfroEconomics members. This is no extra cost. Once a month, I want us to have a round table on technology and entrepreneurship. And I want us to start working on, have you heard that thing like that? A member was talking to me the other day about Hawkfish, that political candidate that got Bloomberg. He created this technology company while he was running for president to help the Democrats get the data, to compete. And that, he was really onto something. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's trying to use it now to collect the data for COVID cases, to try to find, to track but it's a privately held company. But this, it's his company. What I'm saying is that that's the way we have to start thinking. Like, and it probably cost him nothing. He could get getting the info. He probably got paid, especially for this COVID. I bet the state of New York is paying him to put that data in the computer. It comes to him on a file. They put it in, zip it into the computer, and then their algorithms figure it out. And then they say, looks like they have about 100 cases over here on this block. You know what I'm saying? And then there's 200 cases on this block. And then they also use that data to discover about the pre-existing, or what type of, now they're saying people with low vitamin D, where they are more likely to have COVID, because they found people that had low vitamin D and then they were passing away from it. But that's technology. That is healthcare using technology, using the info. How did I invite you? That's data gathering, technology, allowing me to communicate with you within seconds, to send you invites, to tell you about this event. That is the future. So yes. Mm-hmm.
We have, our kids are playing these video games. They are so good at it. They just don't know what's going on behind it. And
yes.
they need to be challenged They can create their own video games.
Yes.
When I was
Yes.
working as an activist, I met so many young men who were math whizzes, but they couldn't do anything with it because they were selling drugs on the street.
That's right.
It laid
That's
in
right.
their heads like amazing. So
That's right.
we've got the talent, we've got the brains,
Yes.
need the belief system that we can do it.
That's right. We need an organized, system that is willing, to invest in that. And as we've said before, I believe that AfroEconomics has to lead towards us having access to capital. Because as we're developing these entrepreneurs, and as the brother said in the article, that our technology companies are less likely to get the venture capitalist attention. So if we do this like collectively, that hey, these are legitimate entrepreneurs. They've gone through this, and this. This is our training program, and we have this. We have these things together. We know what we're doing. We know what our pricing should be. We know, we have the software developed. Whatever that particular goal is, that we have to help each other through it. And then Dr. Williams says indeed that the technology is the way. He says you get something done, there has to be a defined purpose, and then the most appropriate technology can be applied to present the information at a lower cost, exactly, and a larger scale. Indeed. And Mr. Robinson says, right, I was going to say our people are not getting the money. Yes, we're not getting the money from the venture capitalists. We're not. And we think that we'll get in business and we'll do a great job and they'll come to you. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't, it hasn't happened that way for me.
We can do it ourselves if
Yes.
we learn to trust each other and work together and share our resources.
That's right. And keep our word. And keep our word as entrepreneurs, and know like you don't have the luxury. Like a lot of times I think that our entrepreneurs have really dropped the ball on the people that make it happen, and that we have to be accountable. And that has to be like the underlying thing that, that I say, that you have to be all in and you have to be accountable. And you have to, keep your word too, because that's what investors want. And you're talking about one of the highest risk investments that you ever can do is to invest in someone's business. And then we don't understand, like there was this one lady that won Entrepreneur of the Year one time. And the whole people, nobody in the room would even consider me because of course she went to Harvard. I only went to the University of Virginia. And then she had a law degree. And she did not, they gave her Entrepreneur of the Year, second year in business. And then she did not pay her money back to a black bank and basically put them out of business. Put our bank out of business. And that's who we acknowledge as Entrepreneur of the Year. That is what we have to stop doing. You know what I mean? We have to stop. We have to prove ourselves. You cannot put, someone who, a black business who's been in business for over 20 years and say that somebody just comes out because it's an attractive idea that they are better. You know what I mean? And this is more worthy. We have to stop doing it because you like somebody, and we have to start doing it because this is what business is. It's not pretty. We keep thinking that business is pretty and it's only going to take a minute and you're going to that's not. Most businesses that we even know, like Walmart, that their father was basically just broke. This is a little old store. The Walmart we know is what happened generations later. And that's what we have to do. We have to get to the generations later, and we have to prove ourselves. We have to prove ourselves, and it is okay to have to prove yourself. We act like, they should just give us the money. Nobody should just give us anything. We have to prove ourselves. We have to build this. We have to create this. And we have to use the technology. As what Money Mayweather said, the numbers don't lie. So let's start using technology to show our numbers and show our success. When I put my portfolios into those sheets and they say that my return is a certain amount, the numbers don't lie. That's it. I can't change the system that did that investment, did that, and that's that performance, you know? So that's what you have to think of your business as well. You know, you run your numbers, know your numbers, and we have to be accountable. But that's the important, my whole thesis statement today is just that we need technology to help us take our wealth to the next level. You know, it's in addition to, we've done a discussion, Mr. Bozeman, I did a discussion on real estate, you know, that's cool. But we also need to realize that there's other options than what we know and what we've always done. I love your cat. Dr. Williams says a lot of software is open source. That means we get it for free. I know that's right. We can download it, learn it, and use it. The traditional investment scenario may not be as critical as in the past. That's right. Look for apache.org or mongodb.com or a ton of other sources for information. And then Twala said, thank you to Dr. Williams. Yeah, indeed. But definitely there are ways for us to continuously get information. I was telling a client yesterday that's doing a real estate project. And I was like, we got to do as much as we can on our own research so that we can save money. And at least when you go to someone else to bring them in on the deal, you'll know all of the backstory. You'll know. So you have to constantly stay on top of our game. We cannot contract out knowledge. It's just not possible. So we got to learn. If you don't know it, then you got to learn. And a lot of it, we don't have to like go and get a college degree, you know, go back and do another bachelor's in computer science, you know, in order to learn computer science now. Software development, you can just learn software development. You can get shortcuts now. Just take the class you need if that's what you want to learn. So hey, we're stuck in the house anyway right now. So learn everything you ever wanted to learn. Andrew, tell me one more thing before you leave me.
Okay.
What you definitely want us to know as a long-term entrepreneur. What do I need to know?
You know, people poo-poo it, but God is the answer.
I know that's right.
If we can get the truth of God in ourselves and know that God is always with us and is part of us as we move forward, it makes us stronger, and we are invincible once we know that God is with us, and He is always with us. It's something we can count on and believe in because it's the truth.
That's so powerful and so true. And I know there's probably somebody out there saying, oh, wow, I can't believe he went that direction. But I'm telling you, Mr. Bozeman has been in corporate America. He retired from corporate America, has his own business, you know what I'm saying? And I know for a Black man to still be alive and of a sound mind that you had to know God very closely. Because this world will run you crazy, you know. So I admire you and I thank you. And you didn't have to come out and share that with us. You didn't have to continue to help us. I mean, you don't have to help us, and you're constantly doing something for our community. That's how I found you, you know, out there doing empowerment for us and sharing my stuff. You didn't have to. So I appreciate you. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this right now if it weren't for you when nobody was listening, saying don't stop. So thank you. And that's what we have to keep doing for each other. I'm going to let you rest. I'm just going to allow you to chill. That's Andrew Bozeman. He will be back. That's right. That's right, Twila. Only the Lord. We're so blessed. A few more points I will make sure that I share. I'm so proud of myself because I can like bring him in and out. I used to torture people and make them stay with me the whole time. Once I bring them in, they can never leave. Oh, so I wanted to make sure that I say that I want to use tech. I want to encourage you to use technology for wealth building because tech is a tool. And it's not just for entertainment. And I want to bring that to us and bring it across all generations for us to just think deeper about what tools that we can create or what tools can we use. So we don't have to really make anything new, but we can certainly use what's available to our advantage. And then also just allow ourselves to consider innovation, to increase our imagination, and to realize that you can have ideas and ideas can come together. It's just not going to be like the easiest thing you ever thought about. But when you really want something, you find pleasure in continuously trying to make it happen. You can make it happen. Another point I believe is that data and information is everything. And we have to learn to use our data and our information for power. How can I, what is a more productive use of the information, and how can that information be broken down? Like, I'm constantly with the information that I have. I'm shocked by the software companies that I pay to hold the data, like on our membership system. And I'll ask them, can I make a report that includes this type of member that went to this event and this and this and this? And they can't. There are so many limitations out there in existing stuff that you cannot ever think that everything has been taken care of, because it hasn't been. And then in businesses and technology, and remember this, technology businesses require less capital to start them up. So that's why, from an entrepreneurship perspective, I appreciate technology businesses for us. I really feel that we should be considering that, and we should be looking at that and considering careers in that, or considering job changes into things that will put you into an information technology situation. We even have a member that is head of technology and security for a major university in this country. I mean, that sister is doing her thing. And I learned so much from her. And I was running by her that I was setting up this portal to provide to members and clients when you send me information for it, not setting up, but it's a service that's already out there. But this company, that's what they do. Allow me to give my clients a link. They set up their own little vault. Then they put info in the vault. The vault sends me an email. I go to there, pull the info out, instead of sending it through email that is not as secure. So a big part of my job is technical security and protecting your information, things like that. And that is, when I ran that by her, she was like, oh yeah, that's a lot better than email. We need that. We're building a serious team here, y'all. We have resources. So just be on the lookout for the AfroEconomics Technology and Entrepreneurship Institute. And it is going to be absolutely free to entrepreneurship members. Yes, we have entrepreneurship membership, and those members will be in that institute in addition to what they're already getting for their part. And if you're a family member or individual member and you want to be in the Entrepreneurship Institute, just talk to me about it. And then that's going to start in September. So and it's going to go from September to September. And you're going to make a special presentation 6 months into it during the AfroEconomics Fest. So I wasn't going to start it in January, but I was like, I'm going to start it now because I want you all involved in the AfroEconomics Fest in February. I want us to be making presentations by then. So it's just going to be once a month, talking about your goals as an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur in technology, or whatever your business idea is. You still need the technology exposure, because we need to use technology in all of our businesses in order to increase our profits. That's the goal. So a limited number of people are going to be invited, but this is going to be major. I really need us to do that. So that is our discussion. Please let me know if you have any specific questions. Be on the lookout for your invite to that. Oh, Dr. Williams says he loves the idea. That's right. Can't wait until September. I love it. Data is freely available. Nearly every state has a public site. That's right. For instance, in Maryland, I could do data.maryland.gov. For national level, there's just data, data, data. That is scary, right? That's what I was thinking about with a lot of these businesses that are applying for these loans. I was like, they are really putting a lot of information out there. But just be careful, because data, 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 when you're dealing with the government, it's public information. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Maurice. This will be great, because you're going to make it great. And we're going to make this happen. I appreciate you all so much. I don't want all of my years as an entrepreneur to go to waste. I want 1,000 plus entrepreneurs to be created out of all that I've had to go through by myself. I don't want any more entrepreneurs to feel like they're alone. We don't need to. Nobody should feel like they're alone. That's what we're here for. So you all have a good one. We have our members only meeting on Friday morning. Good night, beautiful Monica. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. Great membership. Have a good night, Mr. Fenner, Ms. Woodson, JW. Good night, Larry. Thank you. Thank you so much, Maurice. I appreciate y'all so much. And I'll be right back here, God willing, next Wednesday. Look, thank you to Mr. Bozeman for hanging out with me. You were great. That jazz like calms me down, doesn't it? It's beautiful. How you doing, Mr. Jenkins? Good to see you. Hi, Mr. Joe. Hi, Mrs. Joe. Good to see y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Friday morning, 9 a.m. It's our time. Members only. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Your participation is always great. Dr. Williams, thank you for your participation. Mr. Bozeman, thank you so much. He's all the way upstate New York, getting it done for us. Thank you. Oh, Jaira is my girl. Thank you. I thank God for you and Jaira. Thank you. And your mom. Yes, indeed. Oh, Mr. Robinson said 528 frequency music is good. I got to look that up. 528 frequency. Uh-oh. Thank you. Cynthia, good to see you. 804-202-929. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Rosita, hi. Thanks for hanging out. Good night, everybody. Guess I'll go listen to some 528. I'll take the headphones off. 528 music. That's funny. I'm going to be thinking about that for a long time. Wait till next week. I might be listening to 528. That's AfroEconomics Live, and I'm JD Bryan. Have a wonderful week.